नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी। Hare Krishna. Today we try to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1st, Chapter 9, Shloka number 26. Purusha Swabhava Vihita
पुरुष स्वभाव विहिता
Yatha Varna Yatha Ashramam
यथा वर्णम यथा आश्रमम
Vairagya Rag Upadibhyam
वैराग्य राग उपाधिभ्याम
Amnata Ubhaya Lakshanan
अम्नात अभय लक्षण
Ubhaya पुरुष स्वभाव विहितान्
स्वभाव विहिता
यथा वर्णम यथा आश्रमम
यथा वर्णम यथा आश्रमम
वैराग्य राग उपाधिभ्याम
वैराग्य राग उपाधिभ्याम
अम्नात उभय लक्षणान्
अम्नात उभय लक्षणान्
पुरुष स्वभाव विहितान् यथा वर्णम यथा आश्रमम वैराग्य राग उपाधिभ्याम अम्नात उभय लक्षणान्। श्रीधर प्रभु जी प्लीज रीड।
हरे कृष्ण। पुरुष स्वभाव विहितान् यथा वर्णम यथाश्रमं वैराग्य राग उपाधिक्याम आत्मनात् उभय लक्षणाम। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण। कृपा भाई माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण।
हरे
हरे
कृष्ण।
कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण।
पुरुष स्वभाव विहितान् यदा वर्णम यदा श्रमं वैराग्य रागो पदिभ्यम् आम्नां तो भय लक्षणन्।
लक्षण।
थैंक यू मच। लक्षणान्। थैंक यू
सचिन प्रभु जी।
पुरुष स्वभाव विहिता यथा वर्णम यथा आश्रमम वैराग्य राग उपाधिभ्याम आम्नात उभय लक्षणान्।
ट्रांसलेशन एंड पर्पट बाय द श्रीला प्रभुपाद। जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय।
Hare Krishna. At Maharaj Yudhishthir's enquiry, Bhishmadev first defined all the classifications of caste and orders of life in terms of individuals' classifications. Then, he systematically, in twofold divisions, described counteraction by detachment and interaction by attachment. Purport. The conception of four castes and four orders of life as planned by the Lord himself is to accelerate transcendental qualities of the individual person so that he may gradually realize his spiritual identity and thus act accordingly to get free from material bondage or conditional life. In almost all the Puranas, the subject matter is described in the same spirit, and so also in the Mahabharata, it is more elaborately described by Bhishmadev in the Shanti Parva, beginning from the 16th chapter. The Varnashram Dharma is prescribed for the civilized human being just to train him to successfully terminate human life. Self-realization is distinguished from the life of the lower animals engaged in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. Bhishmadev advised for all human beings 9 qualifications: not to become angry, not to lie, to equally distribute wealth, to forgive, to beget children only by one's legitimate wife, to be pure in mind and hygienic in body, not to be inimical towards anyone, to be simple, and to support servants or subordinates. One cannot be called a civilized person without acquiring the above mentioned preliminary qualities. Besides this, the brāhmaṇas, the intelligent men, the administrative men, the mercantile community, and the liberal class must acquire special qualities in terms of occupational duties mentioned in all the Vedic scriptures. For the intelligent man, controlling the senses is most essential qualification. It is the basis of morality. Sex indulgence, even with a legitimate wife, must also be controlled, and thereby family control will automatically follow.
An intelligent man abuses his great qualification if he does not follow the Vedic way of life. This means he must seriously make a study of the Vedic literature, especially of the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita. For learning Vedic knowledge, one must approach a person who is 10% engaged in devotional service. He must not do things which are forbidden in the Shastras. A person cannot be a teacher if he drinks or smokes in the modern system of education. The teacher's academic qualification is taken into consideration without evaluation of his moral life. Therefore, the result of education is misuse of high intelligence in so many ways. The kṣatriya, the member of the administrative class, is specially advised to give charity and not to accept charity in any circumstances. Modern administrators raise subscription for some political function, but never give charity to the citizen. In any state function, it is just the reverse in the injunctions of the Shastras. The administrative class must be well versed in the Shastras, but must not take to the profession of teacher. The administrators should never pretend to become non-violent and thereby go to hell. When Arjuna wanted to become a non-violent coward on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he was severely chastised by Lord Krishna. The Lord degraded Arjuna at that time to the status of an uncivilized man for his award acceptance of the cult of non-violence. The administrative class must be personally trained in military education. Coward should not be elevated to the presidential throne by dint of numerical votes only. The monarch were all chivalrous personality, and therefore monarch should be maintained provided the monarch is regularly trained in of the occupational duties of a king. In fighting, the king or the president should never return home without being heard by the enemy. The so-called king of today never visit the warfield. He is very much expert in artificially encouraging the fighting strength in the hope of false national prestige. As soon as the administrative class is turned into a gang of mercantile and laborer men, the whole machinery of government becomes polluted. The Vaishyas, the members of the mercantile communities, are specially advised to protect the cows. Cow protection means increasing the milk products, namely curd and butter. Agriculture and distribution of the foodstuff are primary duties of the mercantile community, backed by education in Vedic knowledge and trained to give in charity. As the kṣatriyas were given charge of the protection of the citizen, Vaishyas were given the charge of the protection of animals. Animals are never meant to be killed. Killing of animals is a symptom of barbarian society. For a human being, agricultural produce, fruits, and milk are sufficient and compatible foodstuffs. The human society should give more attention to animal protection. The productive energy of the laborer is misused when he is occupied by industrial enterprises. Industry of various types of cannot produce the essential needs of man, namely rice, wheat, grains, milk, fruits, and vegetables. The production of machines and machine tools increases the artificial living passion of a class of vested interests and keep thousands of men in starvation and unrest. This should not be the standard of civilization. The Shudra class is less intelligent and should have no independence. They are made for rendering sincere service to the three higher sections of the society. The Shudra class can attain all comforts of life simply by rendering service to the higher classes. It is specially enjoined that a Shudra should never bank money. As soon as the Shudras accumulate Well, it will be misused for sinful activities in wine, women, and gambling. Wine, women, and gambling indicate that the population is degraded to less than Shudra quality. The higher caste should always look after the maintenance of the Shudras, and they should provide them with old and used garments. Shudra should not leave his master when the master is old and invalid, and the master should keep the servant satisfied in all respect. The Shudras must first of all be satisfied by sumptuous food and clothing before any sacrifice is performed. In this age, so many functions are held by spending millions, but the poor laborer is not sumptuously fed or given charity, clothing, etc. The laborers are thus dissatisfied, and so they make agitation. The Varnas are, so to speak, classification of different occupation, and ashrama dharma is gradual progress on the path of self-realization. Both are interrelated, and one is dependent on the other. The main purpose of ashram dharma is to awaken knowledge and detachment. The brahmachari ashrama is the training ground for the prospective candidate. In this ashrama, it is instructed that this material world is not actually the home of the living being. The conditioned souls under material bondage are prisoners of matter, and therefore self-realization is the ultimate aim of life. The whole system of ashrama dharma is a mean to detachment. One who fails to assimilate the spirit of detachment is allowed to enter into family life with the same spirit of detachment. Therefore, one who attains detachment may at once adopt the fourth order, namely renounce, and thus live on charity only, not to accumulate wealth, but just to keep body and soul together for ultimate realization. Household life is for one who is attached, and the Vanaprastha and Sannyasa order of life are for those who are detached from material life. The Brahmacharya Ashrama is specially made for training both the attached and detached. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Nobishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Aham Sri Guroho Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sahadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitancha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpataruvecha Rupa Sindhuve Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We try to understand chapter 9 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1st, Shloka number 26. Here they describe about the qualification and their what we do and what we do not don't do. All these aspects are describing about 4 ashrama and 4 varnas. Prabhuji will tell us in detail. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So the festival of lights, and such is the providence that we are talking today from Sri Dham Mayapur. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Would request each one of you to kindly unmute yourself and loudly chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra so that the voice reaches here at the land of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we all got the benefit of chanting his holy name from Mayapur Dham itself. So please unmute yourself and loudly chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Together, once more.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Dandavat
Krishna
Pranam.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
So,
Hare Hare.
Yudhishthira Maharaj
Hare
has
Ram,
heard
Hare Ram,
about the principles of
Ram
religion
Ram.
from Bhishmadev. And in response to that, Bhishmadev is now explaining everything. So what he's doing first of all is making him understand the classification of castes and the orders of life. So basically, Chaturvarna, Chaturashrama system. And it is very clearly mentioned. It is in terms of individuals' classification according to Yatha. Yatha is very much important. Swabhavaha, by his own acquired qualities. It is prescribed. Vihita. And then he systematically, in twofold divisions, describes the counteractions by detachment as well as interaction by attachment. So basically, we need detachments. So how it will be done? By counteraction. And there would be attachments which can be done by interaction. So, if you all remember, in Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, 13th verse, that is the first time that the Chaturvarna, Chaturashrama system gets introduced. Krishna says, Chaturvarnyam maya srushtam gunakarma vibhagasha tasya kartaham api mam vidya akartaram avyayam. So he says that according to three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am a creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. So Krishna is Parameshwara. He is the creator of everything. Everything is born of him. Everything is sustained by him. And everything after annihilation rests in him. And so, he is the creator of the four divisions of the social order, beginning with the intelligent class of men, technically called brāhmaṇas. Why? Because of them being situated in the mode of goodness. Then second is the administrative class, kṣatriyas, because they are situated in the mode of passion. Then the mercantile men, that is vaishyas, they are mixed modes of passion and ignorance. And shudras, the laborer class, they are in the ignorant mode of material nature. So, this is how Krishna created. And this is what he had mentioned. And here we find that in response to the inquiry by Parikshit Maharaj, by Yudhishthira Maharaj, Bhishmadev is saying the same thing. So, why is this created? It is to accelerate the transcendental qualities of the individual person, so that any one of us can gradually realize the spiritual identity and accordingly get free from material bondage. So no condition life. So this is the reason why Chaturvarna, Chaturashrama. And it is mentioned that this is further described in the Mahabharata chapter as well. So this Varnashram Dharma is for civilized human beings, with the objective that we should be able to get out of the cycles of birth, old age, disease, and death. Because this is what the human life is. It is not meant for eating, sleeping, mating, defending. So, humans are supposed to have 9 qualities. Now, this is an important aspect that we need to understand today. Just look at Bhishma Dev. He's talking about these 9 qualities, and the 9 qualities are starting immediately with the first quality, which is not to become angry. And this is where we lose our wicked generally. Anger is there at the tip of the nose with almost all of us. Because the moment we find something is not as per our desires, as per our expectations, blast. That is it. The root cause of anger is ego. The root cause of anger is expectations. So when we are being told not to be angry, what it means is we should be able to give up our ego. We should be able to give up all our expectations. No asha, no nirasha, no jhagda, and then no anger. So how is it to be done? Very simple. Just surrender unto Krishna. Depend completely on Krishna, and then Krishna will take care of everything. Second is not to lie. Now this is very important. Whatever karma we do, the karma phala, they get accentuated. They get stored in our karma bank balance. So if you are lying, whether it is for good or for bad, the result is going to be there. And it will be only for, it may happen that it is for this result that we come back. Now, what we talk about is absolute truth, that we want to achieve the destination of the absolute truth. So if we are lying, can we go to the absolute truth? Not at all possible. So second quality, not to lie. Third, distribute the wealth equally. Now we have got Sanatan Goswami, we have got Rupa Goswami, who have actually told us how to distribute them. So 50% of their whatever was the wealth they gave up to the brāhmaṇas for preaching mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. 25% they distributed amongst their relatives, and 25% they kept for their emergencies. So ideally, this is what we have to do. We have to equally distribute wealth, because wealth does not belong to us. Wealth belongs to Krishna. It is temporarily given to us in our capacity that we utilize it appropriately. The next quality is forgiveness. Because if you don't forgive, then that what feeling that someone has done wrong to you, he tried to apologize, but still we are not forgiving. So we are keeping in our mind, in our subconscious, all the wrongs that have been done to us. So we are always occupied, preoccupied. And then we don't have the opportunity, the space left for Krishna to occupy our mind. So then we'll be at fault. Antakalecha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram will not happen, because we'll remember all these activities. So it is important that we forgive and forget. Fifth is, which is the basic principle, purity. To beget children only by one's legitimate wife. So that is very, very important. Sixth is enhanced form of purity, that is to be pure in mind and hygienic in body. So it is mentioned that you should have bath thrice a day with complete cleansing of the body. So complete cleansing, nowadays we are not having the gopi chandanas and the purity of the sand with which the body used to be cleaned previously. Or in the month, on the occasion of Diwali, Uptan used to be used. We don't get that easily in the cities, but then soaps are available. So we should ensure that thrice a day we have a bath with complete washing of the body with soap. And we should be pure, we should be hygienic in mind as well. Seventh is not to be inimical towards anyone. Because enmity does not help anyone. It only creates issues. So why be enemy with anyone when our biggest enemy is Maya? Our biggest enemy, if not control, is our mind. So being inimical towards anyone is useless. Eighth is to be simple. All the opulences that you can have, they're all going to be left behind when we leave the body. So why have opulences? Let us try to learn to live simple, with simple requirements, simple necessities of life, and then everything will fall down in place. And 9, to support servants or subordinates. A devotee is supposed to be a good leader because he is supposed to be giving mercy so that even others can become devotees. Like we all became devotee because someone showed the mercy on us. And it is only because of the mercy of the devotees that we come on the path of devotional service. So similarly, we have to get everyone along. So we have to support the servants and the subordinates appropriately. So if you really want to be a civilized devotee, then these 9 qualities are basic minimum that we should be acquiring. The whole essence of this discussion today is this. Because Chaturvarna system, Chaturashram system, we have discussed it repeatedly. Prabhupada ji says that yes, this is what has to be done. And for that, the Varnas especially, it is all going to be not on the basis of your birth. It is on the basis of your qualities, of your swabhava. And the main purpose of Ashram Dharma is to awaken knowledge and detachment. And the training ground for all the prospective candidates is Brahmachari Ashram. Because it is here that we get introduced to the concept that material world is not actually the home of us. We are under the material bondage, just like prisoners of matter. And so self-realization is the ultimate aim of life. So Ashram Dharma actually means to be detached. And one who fails to assimilate this spirit of detachment, then maybe he can get into family life with the same spirit of detachment. So for a period of time, then he can get into Vanaprastha, then sannyas. So this is very, very important that we learn to be detached from material aspects and get attached to Krishna, because that is the attachment which is most important. Hare Krishna.